Hello all, this is Indrasena Reddy from Narayana campus. I am going to discuss 26th morning shift paper. These questions are based on memory based. There may be little change between original questions and these questions. Let us start the discussion. Here it is given, work done by a force is W equal to alpha square beta into e power minus beta x square by kt, where x is distance, k is Boltzmann constant and T is temperature. The dimensions of alpha is. So we know that the standard expression for work, dimensions of work are ml square T power minus 2. This is equivalent to dimensions of alpha square into beta. And we know that exponential function should be dimensionless, means minus beta x square by k into t should be a dimensionless quantity. It is not having any dimensions. Let us equate this with 1. So, and one more thing, we know that the product of Boltzmann constant and temperature kBT gives the dimensions of energy. So it is clear dimensions of beta and x square is equivalent to dimensions of energy. So this is again equivalent to dimensions of energy. We know that dimensional formula of energy is ml square T power minus 2. One more thing, it is mentioned that x is equivalent to distance. As it is having dimensions of length, beta can be rewritten as ml square T power minus 2 by L square. So dimensions of beta are simply m into T power minus 2. Now let us come to the point. Dimensions of alpha we need to calculate. From that expression, alpha square having dimensions of ml square T power minus 2 by beta. Dimensions of beta are m T power minus 2. So it is clear alpha square having dimensions of L square, or dimensional formula of alpha can be written as m power 0 L power 1 T power 0. It is given with option B. So here B is correct. Let us go to the next question. Here it is assertion reason type question. Statement 1 given is resolving power of electron microscope is greater than optical microscope. Second statement, de Broglie wavelength of electron is very less than visible light. We know that the general expression for resolving power of microscope is resolving power equal to 2 times of sin alpha by 1.22 lambda, where alpha is numerical aperture. Let me show this. Suppose this is lens used in the microscope. This is object subtending an angle 2 alpha at the location of, means lens is subtending angle 2 alpha at the location of object, where sin alpha is called numerical aperture. Anyway, this is the general expression for resolving power. It is clear from this expression, resolving power is inversely proportional to wavelength of light or wavelength of electrons used. More is the wavelength, less will be the resolving power. Less is the wavelength, more will be the resolving power. Electron microscope is used rather than optical microscope because wavelength of electron will be less than that of visible light. That is the reason. So here de Broglie wavelength of electron is very less than visible light. In general, the order of electron, de Broglie wavelength of electron will be 1 angstrom and order of visible light around 5000 angstroms, 5000 or 6000 angstroms. That's why electron microscope is used rather than optical instruments. So here statement 1 and 2 both are correct. 2 is correct explanation of the first statement. So answer B is correct in this case. Let us go to the next question. Here it is given, a tunnel is dug along the chord at a distance r by 2 from the center of earth as shown. If particle is released in tunnel, find its time period. So here it is given clearly, tunnel is dug at a distance r by 2. Let us try to find the force experienced by the particle when it is placed at a distance x from center of tunnel. Let me draw the diagram. Assuming this is wall of tunnel, this is location of particle which is at a distance x from center of tunnel. Let it be O, this is C, which is x. General expression for gravitational force at any internal point of solid sphere. We know that the gravitational field of solid sphere at any internal point can be written as E equal to gm by r cube into r, where m is mass of this sphere or planet, whatever it may be. Capital R is radius of this, small r is distance of particle or point from the center of the sphere. Let us take the component of this force along the tunnel. Let it be angle theta. First of all, the force experienced is mass into gravitational field. Its component along the center of tunnel is F parallel. This can be written as F cos theta. So this is M into E into cos theta from the figure is it is clear cos theta is x by r. Let us substitute these values. M is mass of particle, E is gravitational field, it is gm by r cube into r by r. It is clear, r and gets cancelled. This expression is nothing but restoring force, because this force is acting towards the center of tunnel. As it is restoring, we can compare this force with equation of simple harmonic motion or force of simple harmonic motion, that is m omega square x. Now it is clear from that omega square equal to gm by r cube. From this we can write the time period as t equal to 2 pi by omega, this is 2 pi into square root of r cube by gm, and we can use g equal to gm by r square form. Then it will be equivalent to 2 pi into square root of r by g. It is given with option B, so answer will be the B. Let us go to the next question. The fourth question is simple electric circuit is given. Find out equivalent resistance between A and B. Let us overlap these two resistors, means let us rotate this branch by 180 degrees. So it will be like this. The equivalent circuit will be like this. This is terminal A, as usually this is terminal B. This is R, this is R, it is also R, it is also R. It is clear that simple Wheatstone bridge in the balancing condition. So we can remove this resistor. So simply these two are in series combination gives 2R. These two are also in series. So 2R finally comes out to be R. So effective resistance between A and B is R. It is given with option D, so D is the correct option here. Let us go to the fifth question. Four identical solid spheres of mass m and radius a are placed on four corners of square of side B. Find out moment of inertia about any one side. It is also a simple question. Let us draw the diagram. These are four identical solid spheres, each of radius a, placed at the corners of square of side B. Each sphere is having radius a, mass of each sphere is m. Let us try to calculate its moment of inertia about this side. All sides are equivalent. About any side we can calculate. About this side, if you calculate moment of inertia, these two spheres are lying on the same side. So moment of inertia of these two spheres, for example, it is A, this is B, it is C, it is D. Moment of inertia of A and B about this axis is 2 by 5 mr square plus 2 by 5 mr square. So total moment of inertia about the given axis is 2 times of 2 by 5 m a square plus 2 times of. Now moment of inertia of C and D about the given axis. In order to find moment of inertia of these two spheres about this axis, we need to use parallel axis theorem. First of all, moment of inertia of these two spheres about this axis is as usually 2 by 5 m a square plus m into this D, perpendicular distance between two parallel axes. This is nothing but B, side of the square. So this is 2 by 5 m a square plus m b square form. So finally this is 2 times of 2 by 5, 2 times of 2 by 5, 4 by 5 plus 4 by 5, 8 by 5 m a square plus 2 times of m b square. This is the moment of inertia. Let us check the options. It is given with first option. So A will be the correct answer here. Let us go to the sixth question. A sphere and a ring are separated by root 8 r distance. Find force between them. Actually diagram is missing. I have seen this question somewhere else. So it will be like this. This is ring and center of sphere is at a distance root 8 times of r from the sphere. Capital M is mass of sphere, small m is mass of ring. Anyway, it doesn't make any difference, whatever may be their masses. Force between them to be calculated. From Newton's third law, force experienced by sphere due to ring and force experienced by ring due to sphere both are same. So let us calculate field produced by ring at the site of sphere, means at the center of sphere, into mass of sphere is nothing but force experienced by this. General expression for electric field, gravitational field due to ring at a distance x from center along this axis is g m x by x square plus a square whole power 3 by 2, where a is radius of the ring, x is distance of point from the axis. For example, in this case x is nothing but root 8 r. Let us substitute these values. Now the force experienced by sphere due to ring is mass of sphere into field produced by ring at the site of sphere. So it will be g m1 m2, x is root 8 r by square root of x means root 8. So this is 8r square plus A is r itself whole power 3 by 2. This is equivalent to root 8 r into g m1 m2 by, this is 9r square whole power 3 by 2. It will be 27 times of r cube. So finally this is root 8 by 27 times of g m1 m2 by r square. It is given with option C, g mm by r square into root 8 by 27. Let us go to the 7th question. In a spherical mirror, height of object is 100 centimeter and height of image is 25 centimeter and their orientations are same. Then orientation same is image and object are forming on the same side of the principal axis. And here it is clear magnification in general, height of image by height of object. From the given information, it will be 25 by 100 means it is 1 by 4. It is a diminished image. And general expression for magnification of a mirror can be written as minus V by U. As it is minus V by U and magnification is positive, V and U are forming on the opposite sides of the mirror. Forming on the opposite sides means it is, and also diminished. It is possible with convex mirror. So it should be somehow like this. Which forms diminished image and it is virtual. Virtual and diminished image. So here it is clear. The given options, image is virtual and convex. So D will be the correct answer. Let us go to the next question, 8th question. In Young's double slit experiment, separation between plane of slits and screen is 1 meter. Separation between slits is 2 millimeter. The wavelength of light used is 500 nanometer. The wavelength of, okay, this is again going, the fringe width. It is a direct formula, nothing is there. So simply we can write fringe width beta equal to d by d into lambda. These are the standard notations, where capital D is separation between slit pattern and screen. This is capital D. D is separation between two slits and lambda is wavelength of light. These values are given directly. Capital D is 1 meter, wavelength is 500 nanometer. 500 into 10 power minus 9 meters divided by small d given is 2 millimeters. So this is 2 into 10 power minus 3. So this will be 2.5 into 10 power minus 4 meters. Here it is 0.25 millimeters. It is given with option A. Let us go to the 9th question. In a gas LED, separation between valency band and conduction band is 1.9 electron volts. Then the light emitted is, here it is given band width or band gap is 1.9 electron volts. The corresponding wavelength of photon emitted can be calculated like this. Lambda photon equal to hc by energy or EV. This is hc can be written as 12414 angstrom electron volts. It is given 1.9. If you calculate it roughly, it will be 6540 angstroms we get, or it is 654 nanometers, which falls in the red region. Basically orange range will be 570 to 620 nanometers. Red range will be 620 to 700 or 750 nanometers roughly. As it is 654, it is red color, red light is emitted by the LED. Let us go to the next question. A particle is moving in circle with uniform speed under the action of central force F, which is inversely proportional to radius as F proportional to 1 by r cube. Period of revolution is proportional to. It is mentioned that moving in a circle with uniform speed. So path is already mentioned, radius can be assumed as r, and force power is given. So if I take a circular path of radius r, the centripetal force experienced by the particle can be written as some constant by r cube. This is equal to mv square by r, or directly this can also be written as m omega square r form. Directly we can calculate the time period from this expression. Let us equate directly this with m omega square r. Now it is clear, omega square proportional to 1 by r power 4 or omega proportional to 1 by r square or time period proportional to r square. So here it is given with B option, so B is correct. Let us go to the next question. Large number of small drops of radius r combine and form bigger drop of radius capital R. If mechanical equivalent of heat is J, then heat released per unit volume if surface tension is T. Here it is given that large number of identical drops each of radius R combined to form bigger drop of radius capital R. We can conserve volume here. Initial volume of all drops equal to final volume of big drop. Let us conserve the volume first. Let us consider n drops, n times of 4/3 pi r cube equal to 4/3 pi capital R cube. We can find the relation between small r and capital R. So it is clear, r equal to small r into n power 1 by 3. Let it be equation 1. And we need to calculate loss of surface potential energy due to decrease in size of the surface area of bigger drop compared to surface area of all small drops. So surface potential energy decreased, delta U lost equal to change in surface area, means decrease in surface area into surface tension. This is equivalent to n times of 4 pi r square minus 4 pi capital R square into surface tension. This is equivalent to heat produced. Let us say this as H. This is the mechanical energy converted into heat. When mechanical energy converted into heat, we need to use Joule's constant in order to have same dimensions or units on both the sides. Suppose if W amount of mechanical work is converted into H amount of energy, heat energy, we can write the relation W equal to J into H. So let us use this relation here. As it is mentioned in the question, we need to use, otherwise it is not required. So W equal to J into H. H equal to 1 by J times of W, this is W expression, taking 4 pi common, 4 pi into small n times of R square minus capital R square into surface tension. And one more thing here, we need to eliminate the value of n, and here it is asked heat released per unit volume. So let us divide this with volume. H by volume we need to take here. h by volume equal to 4 pi by j into small n can be replaced with r by r whole cube, r cube by r cube into r square minus r square by volume expression. Let us write 4/3 pi capital R cube. This is volume of all drops or bigger drop. So we can simplify this expression. 4 pi gets cancelled. So this will be 3t by j into 1 by r minus 1 by r. It is given with option A, so A is correct. Let us go to the next question. The current flowing in a wire is given by I equal to I1 sin omega t plus I2 cos omega t. Find the RMS value of current. We know that the general expression for RMS is whenever some current is given, I RMS square can be written as integral of I square dt by integral of dt. Time can be taken from 0 to 1 time period. So here square of this current function can be taken as let me write here. If I take over 1 time period, integral of dt will be t. This is I1 square sin square omega t plus I2 square cos square omega t plus 2 times of I1 I2 sin omega t cos omega t. Integral of this into dt. I RMS square equal to 1 by t into, this can be written as I1 square into sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega t whole by 2 dt plus next term I2 square into 1 plus cos 2 omega t whole by 2 dt integral of plus the last term integral of dt. After integrating and substituting the limits 0 to t, this function gives 0 value. Even cos 2 omega t, integral of cos 2 omega t dt 0 to time period also gives 0. Integral of here also cos 2 omega t. After integration it will be sine function. Sine function over 1 time period, average value of sine function over 1 time period will be 0. So finally we left with IRMS square as I1 square plus I2 square by 2. So IRMS can be written as square root of I1 square plus I2 square by 2. It is given with option A here. Let us go to the next question. A planet is revolving about sun in an elliptical orbit. Choose the correct option based on the statements given below. Assuming this is position of sun, planet is revolving around the sun given in elliptical orbit like this. Whenever it is revolving around the sun, only the force experienced by the planet is gravitational force, and this force always passes through center of sun. As it is always passing through center of sun, torque experienced by planet about center of sun will be 0, as it is intersecting the axis of rotation. As there is no external torque, angular momentum of system will be conserved. In this case, aerial velocity can be written as L by 2m, where L is angular momentum of the system. Aerial velocity equal to L by 2m. As external torque is 0, L is constant, so aerial velocity is constant. So first statement is correct. Aerial velocity is proportional to velocity is not correct. When planet is nearest to sun, its speed is maximum. Actually, this statement is also correct. So when it is passing through the closest point, its speed is maximum. When it is passing through the farthest point, its speed is minimum. Planet will move with constant speed. It is not correct. As it is moving in elliptical orbit, speed varies continuously. Aerial velocity is inversely proportional to velocity. This is also not correct. Here only first statement is given in the options. Even though third statement is correct, nowhere else it is mentioned in the options. So only A option is correct. It is given, 1 is correct. Regarding 3, it is not given anywhere according to our source. Let us go to the next question. Two rods of thermal resistance R1 and R2 are connected as shown. Temperatures theta 1 and theta 2 are given. Find common temperature of two connecting rods. Means here common temperature means temperature of the junction he is asking. This is maintained at theta 1, it is maintained at theta 2. In steady state, simply as they are in series combination, heat current flowing through both the rods are same. Let us equate heat current flowing through both the rods. Assuming I1 is heat current flowing through resistor R1, I2 is heat current flowing through resistor R2, equating I1 and I2. Simply, this is temperature difference by thermal resistance. Temperature difference across the first one is theta 1 minus theta 2 by its resistance is R1. Similarly, here it is theta, not theta 2, because junction is at theta. Temperature difference across first resistor is theta 1 minus theta. Similarly, across the second resistor is theta minus theta 2 by R2. From this expression, we need to calculate the value of theta. Let us cross multiply. Theta 1 into R2 minus theta R2 equal to theta times of R1 minus theta 2 times of R1. Let us rearrange this to get the value of theta. Theta into R1 plus R2 equal to, taking this term this side and this term this side, theta 1 R2 plus theta 2 times of R1. So it is clear, the value of theta equal to theta 1 R2 plus theta 2 times of R1 by R1 plus R2. So it is given with option D here. In all other options, it is given with a negative sign. So directly we can go for that option. Let us go to the 15th question. Here it is given lambda 1 represents wavelength of third Lyman series and lambda 2 represents wavelength of first line of Paschen series in hydrogen spectrum. Find the ratio of lambda 2 by lambda 1. We know that the spectrum will be like this: LB, PB, P. This is Lyman series, Balmer. This is Paschen series. Here it is given Lyman series and Paschen series. For Lyman series, we can write wavelengths as 1 by lambda equal to some constant into 1 minus 1 by, it starts from 2 square, 3 square, so on and so like that. Here it is asked for third line. First line means 2 square, second line means 3 square, third line means it should be 4 square. So this is 1 minus 1 by 4 square. This is for Lyman series. Similarly, for Paschen series, 1 by lambda p, let it be, this is constant k into, it starts from 1 by 3 square minus, again here it is, first line means 1 by 4 square. So general expression is like this, 1 by lambda equal to constant into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. n1, n2 values are in accordance with series, Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, Brackett and Fund. Now let us simplify this expression. He is asking ratio of lambda 1 by lambda 2. Lambda 1 is taken for Lyman, so this is lambda 1. Let it be equation 1, this is equation 2. Simply dividing equation 2 by 1. 2 divided by 1 gives lambda Lyman by lambda p, or it is lambda 1 by lambda 2. This will be can take 9 into 16 LCM here, this will be 7. Similarly for this expression 16 LCM, it will be 15. After rearrangement it will be 7 into 7 by 9 into 15. So it will be 7 by 135. So option A is correct. Let us go to the next question. Object of mass m, which is much greater than small m, moving with velocity u, collides with object of mass m, which is at rest. Consider the following statements. After collision, maximum velocity of object of mass m will be 2u. This is first statement. In elastic collision, kinetic energy and momentum both are conserved. Let us check for the first statement. After collision, maximum velocity of smaller object. Let us consider elastic collision between bigger mass and smaller mass. Assuming it is moving with speed u, after collision, let us assume speed of capital M to be v1, speed of small m to be v2. From linear momentum conservation, we can write capital M into u equal to capital M v1 plus small m into v2. Let it be equation 1. And one more thing, for elastic collision, let us equate coefficient of restitution instead of going for energy conservation. Coefficient of restitution also gives energy conservation. So coefficient of restitution E equal to relative velocity of separation by relative velocity of approach. Relative velocity of separation after collision is v2 minus v1 by relative velocity of approach before collision is u only. This is equal to 1 for elastic collision. So from this it is clear v2 can be replaced with u plus v1. Now let us arrange equation 1. Capital Mu equal to capital M into v1 plus, let us eliminate v1 from this expression. v1 can be rewritten as from this expression v2 minus u plus m v2. Finally, we need to find the expression of v2, speed of second particle after collision. From this it is clear, dividing with capital M on both the sides, it will be u equal to v2 minus u plus small m by capital M into v2. Rearranging this for getting the value of v2. 2u by 1 plus small m by capital M. As it is mentioned, capital M is much greater than small m, this term can be equated to 0. Then V2 tends to 2u. So the maximum value of speed of second particle after collision will be 2u. So this statement is correct, and as it is valid for elastic collision, second statement is correct explanation for the first statement. So both the statements are correct, and second statement is correct explanation for the first statement. Let us check it. It is given with B option. So here B is correct. Let us go to the 17th question. A uniform line of length L and charge Q is given as shown in figure. Here also diagram is missing. Find out electric field at O symmetrically arranged. I have seen this question somewhere else. So it is somehow given like this. This is line charge of charge dense, total charge given is Q, length L, and point P which is given equidistant from both the ends. These distances are also L from both the ends. Then these angles will be 30 degrees. Assuming it is alpha, it is beta. At point P, due to symmetry, component of electric field along the length of wire will be 0, and component of electric field perpendicular to length of wire can be written as general expression which we have is E perpendicular equal to lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught R into sin alpha plus sin beta, where R is perpendicular distance of point P from the line of charge. Here this is R. From the figure it is clear, perpendicular distance of P from line of charge is L cos alpha or L cos beta. Due to symmetry, alpha and beta are equal to 30 degrees. Alpha equal to beta equal to 30. So this is L cos 30. So it can be taken as root 3 by 2 times of L R, and it is clear alpha and beta are 30. So the expression will be lambda by 4 pi epsilon naught. R can be replaced with root 3 times of L by 2. This is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2. Simply it is 1. So finally this is lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught into root 3 times of L. Again lambda can be replaced with Q by L. So this is equal to Q by 2 root 3 times of pi epsilon naught into L square. So it is given with option A. Due to symmetry, component of electric field in this direction will be 0. Only we have perpendicular component of electric field which is on the perpendicular bisector of the line segment given. Let us go to the next question. Two diodes are shown in figure in forward biasing. Resistance of diode is 50 ohm and in reverse biasing it is infinite. Find the current flowing through 120 ohm resistor. It is mentioned that resistance of diode in forward bias as 50 ohms and in the reverse bias it is tending to infinity. Means there will be no current through the diode in reverse bias. Here from the circuit, if I draw current I from the source, as this diode is in reverse bias, there will be no current flowing through this, it is clear. Through this diode, if I is current flowing through the circuit, the same current is also flowing through 120 ohm resistor. So directly I can write I as EMF of source by total resistance of the circuit. Total resistance is, here it is 130 plus 120 plus forward bias resistance of diode. So this is 130 plus 120 plus 50. The whole resistance coming out to be 300 ohm. EMF of cell is 6 volts. So this is 6 by 300. If you convert it into milliamperes, this can be written as 20 milliamperes. So here it is given with option A. Let us go to the 19th question. A 2 kg object is placed on a frictionless surface in xy plane. If force acting on the object is 20 I plus 10 j cap, find out displacement along x-axis in first 10 seconds. Directly he has given x component and y component of forces. He is asking about displacement along x-axis only. Initially nothing is mentioned about its velocity, so we can assume it to be at rest initially. So x component of acceleration can be written as x component of force by mass of object. X component of force mentioned is 20 newtons and mass is 2 kg. So x component of acceleration is 10 meter per second square. Displacement along x-axis in 10 seconds. General simple equation of motion s equal to ut plus half at square form along x direction. This is ux t plus half ax t square. Ux is 0 plus half ax is 10, time for which it is asked is 10 seconds. So it is 10 square. So this is 500 meters. It is given with option A. Let us go to the next question. If limiting value of force for block just to slide is 3x, then write the value of x. Here it is given force is making 60 degrees with horizontal. Coefficient of friction between block and ground is 1 by 3 root 3. Let us resolve the applied force into two components, vertical component and horizontal component. So its free diagram can be taken like this. Component of force parallel to horizontal is F cos 60. In this direction it is F sin 60, assuming N as normal force between block and ground and its weight acting in the downward direction. So it is clear normal force experienced by the block is mg plus F sin 60. So this is mg plus F sin 60 and this is the direction of frictional force. In order to displace the block, applied force F cos 60 should be greater than the limiting friction. Limiting friction is, first of all, F cos 60 greater than or equal to F limiting. This is mu times of normal force. Mu is 1 by 3 root 3 times of normal force is mg plus F sin 60 is root 3 by 2 times of F. The limiting value of force. We need to calculate the value of F. Let us rearrange this expression. F by 2 equal to mg by 3 root 3 plus F by 6, this root 3 gets cancelled, we left with F by 6. Rearranging this, multiplying whole expression with 6 on both the sides, this will be 3F equal to two mg by root 3 plus F. So now it is 2F equal to 2 mg by root 3 or F is simply mg by root 3. Mass of block given is root 3. So substituting this value, root 3 gets cancelled, we are getting the expression of force as G. Here it is given that block just to slide is 3x. This is equal to 3 times of x. So x equal to G by 3. The value of G is not mentioned here. If I take this as 10, This will be 3.33. Let us go to the next question. In a series LCR circuit, a resonance quality factor given is 100. Now value of self inductance L is doubled and resistance is decreases twofold. Then find new value of quality factor. General expression for quality factor of series LCR circuit is omega L by R, where omega is resonance frequency. It can be written as 1 by square root of LC into L by R. Let us rewrite this expression in terms of inductance and resistance, because inductance and resistance are changed here. So this can be written as square root of L by C into 1 by R. Let Q prime be the new quality factor of circuit after changes are made. Inductance is increased to 2 times. So this is square root of 2L. Capacitance is not changed. And resistance is made half. So this is R by 2 instead of R. So it will be like this. So this is nothing but 2 root 2 times of the original value, square root of L by C R square. So let us compare this with original equation. Simply this is 2 root 2 times of original quality factor given. So 2 root 2 into 100. 2 root 2 approximately we can take 2.8 into 100 gives 280. This is the new quality factor of the circuit. Let us go to the next question. There are two capacitors C1 and C2. Given that C2 greater than C1, when they are connected in parallel, the equivalent capacitance is 15 by 4 times the equivalent capacitance when connected in series. So it is given effective capacitance in parallel combination is 15 by 4 times of that in series combination. Cp is 15 by 4 times of C series. In parallel combination, effective capacitance will be C1 plus C2. This is equal to 15 by 4 times of, in series combination it is C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. Let us rearrange this expression. It is C1 C2 whole square into 4 times of C1 plus C2 whole square equal to 15 times of C1 C2. Let us rearrange this. This is 4 C1 square plus 4 C2 square plus 8 times of C1 C2 equal to 15 times of C1 C2. Let us rearrange this expression. 4 C1 square plus 4 C2 square minus 7 times of C1 C2 equal to 0. We need to calculate the value of C2 by C1. Let C2 by C1 as X. Dividing this equation with C1 square, it will be 4 plus 4x square. C2 by C1 square is x square minus 7 times of x equal to 0. Let us solve it for x. Let us rearrange it first. 4x square minus 7x plus 4 equal to 0. So by using minus b plus or minus form, let us find the value of x. X equal to minus b means here it is plus 7 plus or minus square root of 2a will be here 2 into 4. B square is 7 into 7 49 minus 4ac is minus 4 into 4 into 4 16 into 4 64. We are getting impossible solution here, we are getting imaginary value, so it should be, this question should be deleted. So bonus should be given to this. Let us go to the next question. The maximum and minimum amplitude of modulated wave is 16 volts and 8 volts respectively. The modulation index is x into 10 power minus 2. Find the value of x. So we know that maximum and minimum values. If AC is amplitude of carrier wave and AM is amplitude of modulating wave, AC plus AM given is 16. Similarly, AC minus AM given is 8. So adding these two expressions, we get 2 times of AC equal to 24. AC equal to 12, it is clear AM will be 4. Now the modulation index mu equal to ratio of AM and AC. AM by AC equal to 4 by 12. So this is 1 by 3. Here it is given in terms of some x into 10 power minus 2. So this is actually 0.33. It can be rearranged as 33 into 10 power minus 2. So here x should be 33. Let us go to the next question. A 1000 watt bulb has optical efficiency 1.2%. Find the amplitude of electric field at a distance 2 meter from the bulb. Suppose this is the source emitting light in all directions. It is just like a point source. He is asking at a distance 2 meter from the source. R given is 2 meters. We know that the intensity of electromagnetic wave in terms of amplitude of electric field can be written as half epsilon naught E naught square into C, where C is velocity of light, E naught is amplitude of electric field strength, epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, dielectric permittivity. Let us write the expression of intensity at this point. If P is power of source, intensity at a distance r from point source can be written as I equal to P by 4 pi r square. But here the thing given is only 1.2% of 1000 watts is converting into light energy. So let us equate this with 1.2% of this, means 1.2 by 100 times of 1000 by 4 pi r square equal to half epsilon naught E naught square into C, where C is velocity of light. We need to calculate the value of E naught. E naught square equal to, let us rearrange this, 1.2 into here 100, here 1000, this is 12 into 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught, r given is 2 meters, so this is 2 square into C. We know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 power 9. So this is 9 into 10 power 9 times of, this is 24 by 4, it is 6, by the velocity of light 3 into 10 power 8. So this is 3 into 6, 18 into 10, 180. E naught square is 180. The value of E naught is roughly 13 13s 169, 14 14s 196. In between that, roughly it may be 13.4 or 5. So E naught is nearly 13.4. Let us go to the next question. Displacement equation of string wave is given by y equal to sine of x plus 30t. Mass per unit length of wire is 0.325 gram per centimeter. Find tension in the string. Let us compare the given equation with general wave equation on a string. General wave equation is y equal to a sin kx plus or minus omega t. Here the given wave equation is traveling along negative x direction. Let us compare this with general equation. Propagation constant is 1 unit, angular frequency is 30 units. We know that velocity of wave as omega by k. So this is 30 meter per second. And general expression for velocity of wave is square root of t by mu, where t is tension, mu is mass per unit length. So this can be rearranged to get the value of tension as mu times of v square. Mass per unit length is already mentioned here. Mass per unit length of wire is 0.35. You should take care while writing proper units of that. It is given in CGS units. We have to convert it into SI units. It is given 0.325 times of gram means 10 power minus 3 kg per centimeter, 10 power minus 2 meter into V square is 900. So let us try to get this value. This is coming out to be 0.325 into 90. So it is 9 into 3.25. Is nearly 27 plus 2.25, 29.25 we are getting here, 29.25 newtons. Let us go to the next question. 20 coulomb charge flows through 15 volt battery in a certain interval. Find work done by the battery. It is simple question. Work done by battery is nothing but amount of charge supplied by the battery from its positive terminal into EMF of the battery. So W equal to EMF of cell into amount of charge supplied. It is given EMF of cell as 15 volts. Charge supplied is 20 coulomb. All are given in SI units. Simply this is 300 joule. Let us go to the next question. A non-conducting container is divided into two parts of volume 4.5 liter and 5.5 liter. Pressure 2 atmosphere and 3 atmosphere. Number of moles 3 and 4. If partition valve is opened, then find out common pressure in atmosphere in both the parts. Ideal gases are identical. It is mentioned both the gases are identical. Let us consider vessel to be like this. This is compartment. Here it is having N1 number of moles, having volume V1 at pressure P1. Here it is N2 number of moles, volume V2, pressure P2. And it is mentioned non-conducting. There is no chance for flow of heat into the container or out of the container. Means total internal energy of system remains constant even after the partition is removed. Assuming partition is removed, now the total internal energy, let us equate. Total number of moles remains unchanged, N1 plus N2. Total volume of system will be V1 plus V2 and common pressure P. So let us equate U1 plus U2 as initial internal energy. This is N1 CV, as gas is common, CV is common for both, into temperature T1 plus N2 CV T2. This is initial internal energy. Finally, the internal energy of system is N1 plus N2 into CV into common temperature T. Let us rearrange N1 T1 in terms of pressures. As temperatures are not mentioned, let us try to get the expression in terms of volume and pressures. So, by using the standard ideal gas equation PV equal to nRT, let us eliminate T from these expressions, keeping N1 as usual, or we can replace N1 T1 with P1 V1 by R1. CV is common for all. So, here it is P1 V1 plus P2 V2 equal to, here now N1 plus N2 to be replaced with N1 plus N2T, N1T, N2T. This is, okay, let us substitute total number of moles, anyway as it is mentioned. N1 plus N2, CV term gets cancelled on both the sides. Now temperature can be written as common pressure into total volume V1 plus V2 by total number of moles N1 plus N2. Let us substitute these values. Volume given is 4.5, pressure is 2 atmosphere. So it is 4.5 into 2 plus 3 into 5.5 equal to total number of moles N1 plus N2, anyway getting cancelled. Common pressure P, volume V1 plus V2, 4.5 plus 5.5, it is 10. So P equal to 9 plus 16.5 divided by 10. So this is 25.5 by 10, or it is 2.55 atmospheric pressure. So the answer will be 2.55. Let us go to the next question. When a man holding spring balance in stationary lift, then its reading is 60 kg. Now if lift starts descending with constant acceleration 1.8 meter per second square, what is the new reading of spring balance in Newton? Initially it is mentioned when system is at rest, the reading of spring balance. We know that reading given by spring balance is nothing but tension in the spring. In the first case, tension T0 equal to weight of the block or weight of the man, in this case 60 G is the original reading when lift is at rest. Now it starts descending downward with constant acceleration 1.2 meter per second square, assuming the whole system is accelerating down with A. Now the equation of motion for block can be written as, if T is the tension, mg is the gravitational force acting on the block, the downward acceleration is A. So equation of motion is mg minus T equal to m into A, or new tension in the spring is mg minus ma, which is responsible for reading of the spring balance, the tension in the string. So this is m into g minus a. This is 60 into the value of g is mentioned 10 here. So it is 10 minus a is 1.8. So it is 60 times of 8.2 or 82 into 6. So its value will be 492 Newton. So it is matching with the option given.